Good evening and welcome to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada, folks. Hosting once again for Tier 3 here at BRL, it is BRL Williams Ferrari 994, whatever you want to call me, alongside Toxin HV. Toxin, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
You know, and I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to a great race here. And from seeing Tier 2 and Tier 1, I definitely think there's going to be a couple different strategies, especially in this tier, at least. Looking forward to see what everyone can do tonight.
Indeed. Seen plenty of different strategies. The two-stop is actually a viable option here. If you can make it work. The one-stop, though, still very, very, very much the go-to strategy if you're out front, I think. So, what are we going to see these guys, almost a minute into the session, nobody going out. Is everybody kind of playing chicken right now, waiting to see who goes out first? I think I hear one of the Mercedes starting up down at the end of the pit lane, but that's about it. Nope, there's one of the Ferraris getting ready to go out as well, of Max Andrew, and further down the pit lane, got a couple of cars going out, one of the racing points already. Who is that? It's going to be Guido. Going to be the first car out of the pits onto the track. Personally, I like Canada, as was evidenced by the P3 qualifying effort that I put in. Unfortunately, couldn't capitalize on that in the race, and just had some issues. Rawlings leaving the session there, so we'll try to get him back in as fast as possible so he can get some laps in. But qualifying here, very important, because passing somebody around this track, although it can be easy, staying ahead of them is the hard part, because there are 3 DRS zones scattered around the track. One on the front straightaway, one on that back straightaway that they just came through, and then one more down this long final straightaway. Almost a kilometer long here from that hairpin all the way up to the final chicane. I believe it's something like 0.8 kilometers. Cars getting all the way up to 200 miles an hour in that space from turn 10 all the way to turn 11. Speaking of turn 11, right there you see it. Go ahead.
One thing we're already seeing here is a couple people on the mediums and also on the soft, so we're already seeing that different strategy option come into play.
Indeed. You only get one set of the medium tires in qualifying regardless of what you do. You can actually get 4 runs in here quite comfortably, so some guys may be opting for that softer strategy to get that extra run in qualifying. Got a yellow in Sector 1, some people getting out of the way, nothing really too big going on there. Very easy to invalidate a lap here, so you really almost want to just take this first lap nice and conservative. Guido definitely not doing that. He's been one of the front runners, usually in this tier. Definitely not holding back anything on this medium lap, wants to get as good a time as he can, so that way he can maybe start on that tire and maybe capitalize on the fact those softs start to really fall off a cliff after about 5 laps, whereas the medium will go to about lap 15 or so before it really starts to go anywhere. Through the final chicane, he's going to catch the wall and break the wing, and he invalidated the lap too. Ooh, not good. Trying a little too hard there. That's something that's very easy to do there through that final chicane with the Wall of Champions. Getting very crossed up through turn 2 here. Almost getting in the wall. Makes Andrew goes to the top of the board in the Ferrari with a 109.8. And Marlon Kanga also with a 109.5 getting up there. So, and as soon as I say that, SSR Zampa now to the top of the board with a 109.4. Take a look down here at Weiser Square as Rawlings rejoins the session. Weiser's out there on the medium tire. He tends to go for this strategy a lot, so this is kind of his go-to. Running a very smooth, little bit conservative lap there as you see the BWT winglet off the racing point. There he goes to P5, so slowest of the car so far with a 126.2, so he must have had a spin somewhere or been caught up in traffic and had to abandon the lap. Going for another lap here, it looks like. Sometimes that's not the worst thing you can do on the mediums here because it is such a short lap. You really don't put a whole lot of wear on the tires. God, just getting so close to those walls. This place is, it's not really a street circuit, but at the same time it is. It's kind of halfway in between a street circuit and a normal circuit, because it runs right out to the perimeter of this little island that we're on, and the walls are just right there.
Yeah, and while you're talking there, we did see Dark Ice, the P3 mediums there, 196, great lap there from him.
Very good lap. Nobody else can really improve too much past that. I think that's going to put him in a very good spot for the race if he just sits on that medium time and doesn't really try to go for a soft lap. Keeping an eye on Weiser Square, guys, very quick on that medium tire usually, and Draghi Oregano jumps up to P6 with a 111.6, and Weiser's actually going to jump into the pits, so don't think he had quite enough to get what he wanted there. So he's going to come back in, probably re-rack, maybe go for a soft. Now, you can do a soft to hard run at this track, but it's very difficult. You lose a lot of time on that soft tire. Looking down here at Joe in the Haas. Joe's been on the front row a few times lately. Nice tidy run through that front straightaway. Start. We'll find out in about 1 minute and 9 seconds what he can do. Into turn 1 and turn 2. Very tidy, runs it all the way out to the exit. 3, easy to get over the and invalidate the lap here, and also to get off into the exit. And then hit the wall and break the wing off. Invalidates the lap there, so that one's already done. Gonna probably have to re-rack and go again if he's got enough fuel on for another lap. Usually that's kind of my strategy here, is because it is so easy to invalidate here, is to just load the car up for 2 laps on that first run just to make sure that you get a banker lap in. That way you're not wasting too much time, especially since I tend to go for the, I tend to like having that medium set in qualifying, just to have that extra set of mediums, especially if you're going to try and do the 2-stop, which I think personally is a better strategy around here. If you're going to be out front. If you're in traffic, not so much. As we got a car, looks like around at turn 5. Nope, just stopped pretty much. And Heatwave letting us know there, thank you, buddy, that it is going to be a clear race, so no rain to be expected. Looks like Joe hits the pit lane there. Around non-ripe Loki in the Renault seems to be the guy who's closest to the start-finish line that's on a lap. Coming through turn 10, a little bit squirrely through there. Not the cleanest of runs. And it looks like Whippy Winner right in front of him actually is on a lap as well. Not close enough to get any tow down the straightaway, but Whippy looks like he's going to go into the pits there. SSR Rawlings in the Haas on the medium goes fastest at a 109.3, so that is interesting. Got a driver on the medium going fastest. Now Loki slots into 7th, about a second off the pole time currently, with about 9.5 minutes left. Trace Me retiring from the session. Looks like he's come to grief down at the exit of turn 9. That's unfortunate for him. He will be starting from the back, provided somebody behind him does not set a time. And Guido jumps to the top of the board with a 109.0 and knocks Rawlings off that top spot. So he does have to pace around this track to be competitive and out front, it would appear.
Yeah, good laps overall so far. Rawlings, like you say, with the 109.3, great lap to see on the mediums. So definitely someone to look at here tonight.
Indeed. The medium to hard strategy proved to be the ideal strategy around here. There's really 3 strategies you can run here that are going to get you really, really, really good times. You can obviously run the medium to hard. That's going to be the best one. The next best, I think, would be the soft, medium, 2-stop, and then behind that is going to be the soft to hard strategy. Just because that soft tire gives up so much and you have to run on it so long with it giving up so much, you're giving up probably a good 2.5 a lap running around for probably 4 or 5 laps of that thing.
And while you're talking there, Weiser Square does jump to the top of the timetable at a 108.8, so good lap to see there from him.
Indeed, first guy to break that 109 barrier. Looking down here at Zampa, he's looks to be gearing up for a lap. Got the sound glitch, so we'll get off of him as Marlon Kanga goes across the chicane at 8 and 9. Does not go to the inside of the bollard. Not a really big deal because it's very easy to spin the car out there going across that. I don't know why the transition is so violent right there, but it usually results in me spinning the car at least. Don't know about anybody else. Looks like we got Heatwave coming up to finish a lap here in the Mercedes. Where is he going to slot in? Looks like it's going to be P3 with a 109.07, so just behind Guido and Weiser Square.
Yeah, good luck to see that from
starting to go down the order just a little bit. Looks like we got Joe out on another lap here. He's coming up down the back straightaway towards the final chicane. What can he do in the other Haas? He's on the soft tire, his teammate's on the medium. See what he can do. Ooh, gets very wide, gets a little bit of dirt on the tires coming on the straightaway. Not going to matter too much, and he's going to go up to P2 with a 108.9 dead. So good lap
even
there to go P2.
Andrew jumps to P5 as well on the 109.1 on the medium, so also 2-lap old medium, so he's which is really not too bad for the mediums here.
That's really why I say that running 2 laps on the mediums is not necessarily a bad thing, because you get that extra heat buildup. The mediums really take about a lap and a half to really fully come up to temperature around here, whereas the softs, you go out and then bang, by the time you're at the start-finish line, they're fully heated up and ready to go. So it just takes a minute for those mediums to really get any temperature, because the track is, it's literally all straights and chicanes. That's all it is. There's really not a whole lot, aside from Sector 1, for it to build temperature on. So unless you're just weaving the heck out of it, it's really not going to have the tire fully heated up by the time you get around.
Who's not in the lobby?
Here looks like we got all 19 of them that we started with, so.
Oh, okay. I thought we had 20. Confused. It's one of the Alfa Romeos.
Yeah, not sure about that. Not sure who we're missing here. Anyway, looks like we got Redeemer on a lap coming up towards the final chicane in the Red Bull. What can he do? He's on the medium tire. Invalidates it. Oof. Turn the dial on the oof size to large. Looks like Silkweaver is on a lap in the McLaren. He is on the soft tire. So let's see what he can do. He's coming through Sector 2 right now, through that treacherous 8-9 chicane. So easy to invalidate and so easy to end up in one of the walls on either side of the exit of that corner if you're not careful. That's really the one corner you have to be super careful about around here, aside from the 3-4 chicane at the start of the lap. Alright, so coming down the back straightaway, looking pretty good right now. Time-wise, he's right where he needs to be at the top of the timesheets. When we come to that final chicane, hopefully keep it nice and tidy and out of the wall. Does. What can he do up to the line? And it is going to be a 109.333. 332 actually, and that's going to put him P9, so not a bad lap, but I think he was probably hoping for a little bit more, maybe some of the other drivers being a little more adventurous through that final chicane than he is, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That final chicane, if you hit it wrong, can actually launch you straight into the wall and end your day very quickly, so he'll probably come in, take one more crack at it. Not a bad first lap, although I think he definitely wants to be in front of at least one of those cars in front of him that's on the medium. Wouldn't be too hard. He's only about 3/10 off from being P4 right now, so actually P3 if you subtract 3/10, which you can actually make that through that final chicane if you do it right. Very easy to gain time through those corners. As looks like now he goes down to P10 as who went up?
Guido.
Marlon went up actually. Guido actually resets fast lap at a 108.5, so getting ever closer now to the times that were being set in Tier 1 and Tier 2. These guys are actually, they might be Tier 3, but time-wise they're not that far off. As you know, we're only talking Whole time in Tier 1 was a 107.8, and that was one guy that got in the 107s. Everybody else was 108.0 or higher. So these guys are only about a half second down on that, which is not a ton. So by no means are these guys slower just because they're in Tier 3. They're a little bit, but yeah, negligible amount. Oh, as we see Groggy getting very squirrely through the first sector of the track. That's not going to be doing him any favors. He's about 2/10 down, and he's already abandoned the lap. Probably not a bad idea. Looking here, Whiffy Winner is in the pits, and Redeemer's on an outlap in the Red Bull, so they're going to have one chance to set a lap to get themselves off the back of the grid. I don't think, has Boostler even left the garage the entire session?
Don't think so, to be honest with you, but I was on board with Rawlings there. About a 1/10.5 to almost 2/10 up. Unfortunately, invalidates right there in the last chicane, which is definitely something easy to do when you're pushing so hard on a qualifying lap.
That's gonna be his qualifying session over, because he's not gonna have, unless he's got another lap of fuel in the car, because he's not gonna have time to come back in, refit the tires. He's actually on a medium tire right now, so he's actually didn't he set his best time on the mediums already?
He did.
Okay,
he was trying one more time,
really sure.
but
yeah, because even just picking up a 10th or 2 is going to pick up at least a couple of spots, which can be crucial here. Mind you, we did see Tier 1 get won by a driver who started in 13th place, so, you know, it's not impossible here, especially with the tire degradation around this place. He's going to be trying to charge that battery back up.
Andrew jumps to P2 on a 108.7. Sorry to interrupt.
Does indeed. I'm going to be riding along with LDR Redeemer here as he goes on this lap. And looks like he's abandoned this one, so probably going to try maybe for one more at the end here. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe he had an issue. Rawlings retires from the session. Not got enough juice left in the tank for another lap, apparently. Looks like Whiffy Winner is on a lap as well. All these guys out there on the soft tire, it looks like. Looking here at Heatwave, he's on a flying lap. No, he's on an in lap, actually. He's not got the ERS active, so he is. He's setting up for his final lap. Is he going to get to the line in time, though? That's the question. He's not going to get there. He didn't get there, at least on screen, to show that he got the there like a couple of seconds after.
A good lap there from Zampa.
Indeed. Zampa setting a good lap there in the Mercedes. Good look down here at Redeemer. Redeemer he's set a 120, so that was that last lap that he didn't get a real representative time there, unfortunately. So this lap is going to be it for him, as it looks like Whiffy Winner jumps up to P11 in the AlphaTauri with a 109.3. I mean, we're talking about literally from 6th all the way down to 12th it's separated by half a second. These guys are actually really close right now around this track, which is to be expected. It's quite short around here. Looking here at Redeemer coming on to the final straightaway. Silkweaver retires from the session in P10, so he said he's had enough. Boostler's still not out of the pits, so he's going to be starting P20. Looks like Redeemer's going to have a clear run through the final corner. What's he going to do? Onto the front straightaway. It's going to be a 109.9, so that's going to elevate him to P14. Anybody else still out there on a lap? It looks like Mex Face Taste is out there on the soft tire, so we should see a jump from the Ferrari pretty well here. Bangs it off the wall a little bit there. Don't really think that's going to affect his lap. Didn't invalidate it. And he's going to jump to P6 there. So good gain right there from the Ferrari to jump up from P12 to P6 there. Anybody else on a lap? I think that is it. So ARS Guido in the Racing Point on pole alongside SSR Zampa in the Mercedes. Who was it that was kind of questionable about starting that last lap? It was Heatwave. Did he? I don't think he set that lap. So he's clear on that, I think. So there you have it, folks. That is qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be back here in just a moment for the race. Alrighty, folks. So we are back, and it looks like one of the drivers may or may not have started his lap in the designated time period. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm hiccuping all the time. So we will get more information on that as we go on. Toxin, any word on that?
I'm sorry, what?
Any word on a possible driver not starting their lap within the allotted time?
Negative on what's going to happen at the moment.
Okay. So SSR Rawlings in P10 forced to start on the same tires that he qualified on. The two cars directly behind him, Silkweaver and Whiffy Winner, as well as Non-Ripe Loki a little further down the field, all electing for the medium tire. So they'll be looking to do a one-stop strategy onto the hard tire. That is the optimal strategy around here. It can really pay dividends even with a less than optimal starting position. Everybody else electing to start with the soft tire, and they're either going to try and stretch that out to do the hard, or they're going to go for the two-stop. Which of the two is going to be quicker? Definitely starting on the mediums, though, is going to be a better option for everybody. Let's go deeper into that race, get some clear air on the car, run your race, and DaCosta Brown, as well as it's like Non-Ripe Loki ending up running into each other and being forced to start back from the grid. Not really something you want to see having that happen on the formation lap, running into each other, getting knocked back to the grid, starting on cold tires. They are towards the back of the grid, so I don't think that's going to cause any issues. But still a little bit of an embarrassing moment for both. Not sure what happened there. As everybody crawls through that hairpin down at the bottom end of the track.
You know, I got to say, my driver to watch is definitely going to be Rawlings. He has some great pace there in qualifying. I know he was a little shy of where he wanted to be on those mediums, but I definitely think he can make his way through the field a little bit and have a great chance at the win tonight.
I think he can too, with that medium to hard strategy that he's going to be running there. Definitely works out a lot better than anything else around here. You see the AWS Insight, F1 Insights strategies. Not so sure about that bottom one, but that top one definitely does work a little bit. Running soft to medium instead of soft to medium. Anyway, so here we are waiting on those 5 lights to come on. 5 lights on the grid. And there we go. They are out waiting on the cars to start moving. Hate when it does this. Okay. Okay then. Several guys getting penalty for jump starts there, including Boostler from the back of the grid. That's going to cause some issues as they get down towards turn 1. Everybody seems to make it through okay. Out at the front, Guido getting overtaken by SSR Zampa off the line. It's not going to do him any favors because getting stuck behind somebody really is not a fun thing around here because you're running the car with such low downforce. That'll be a warning for both of them as they more than likely cut across the chicane there at 3 and 4. Not what you want to do to start the race is get a warning. Looking further down the field, everybody pretty jumbled up. As it looks like Redeemer off the pace there on the right-hand side, ran through the dirt. Not the start he was wanting as he fends off his teammate for 14th place.
Unfortunately, Rawlings, my driver to watch tonight here, not off to a great start for him, but Whiffy jumps from, I believe he started P13, and he's already up to 8th on the mediums there.
Indeed, taking advantage of a little bit of chaos there at the start. Rawlings gets backed by Dark Ice Racer. Yeah, Whiffy jumping way up there from P13 to P8, so that's going to put him in a great position as it looks like we have Marlon jumping into the pits. Has he got some damage? I think he does. As does ARS Boostler and Groggy Oregano, who both have to sort of drive through penalties here. I think, yeah, we are seeing Marlon there with some damage to the front wing, getting that changed out early. Hoping maybe for a later safety car. Goes onto the hard tire. Not really the start he wanted to his race.
Just checking incidents real quick. Through that first lap, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different drivers already with 1 warning. So 8 different drivers already with 1 warning. So as we do know, this is CornerCon Central. So hopefully they can try and best keep it clean here tonight.
Speaking of which, Heatwave just blew the chicane at 7 and 8, had to go across the track, and Facetaste got around him, so insult to injury if he did get a warning for that, as he lost a position as well to the Ferrari, getting very sideways there out of the hairpin. That's going to allow Rawlings to close up a little bit. We got a yellow flag in Sector 3, as it looks like Trace Me might be around. He is around at the hairpin. Rawlings looking to make his way further up the field. He's already back up to P9. In that Haas, so looking very good right now. Currently, Definitely are already up to P6 though, just a few spots ahead of him, looking even better right now.
Yeah, definitely the driver on the move tonight.
Indeed, Whiffy up a total of, I believe, 7 positions right now.
6. He started at P12. My fault.
Okay. So we were giving him one too many there. Oh well, he still picked up a ton of time. Rawlings goes across the curve there at P5, so that's going to be a warning for him. So we don't really want to see too many of those, otherwise this strategy will come unglued before it's even started. That right there, that wall you see jutting out, very dangerous. You want to stay away from that on the entrance to the 8-9 chicane. It can very easily break the wing of your cars. He's looking to make a move on Heat Wave here at the end of lap 3. Down into the hairpin, does so. He's also going to get DRS down the straightaway if Heatwave didn't have it on the car ahead. That's going to allow him to pull just further away from the Mercedes. And he did not, it looks like. Hard to tell. And looks like Whiffy Winner just ahead, struggling a little bit with the grip on those mediums. He has got Face Taste going around him into turn 1. Little bit of a touch there, no harm, no foul, but that's going to put him right in the clutches of Rawlings in car number 66 for the Alpha Tauri team. Meanwhile, that elevates Max Face Taste up to the 6th position in the race, gives him some clear air. Hopefully he can start chasing down Weiser Square, who's actually having a pretty good race so far, as we got a yellow flag in sector 2, and that looks like, oh, Guido's around, and he's got wing damage. Oh, wow, that's not going to help him.
Great qualifying too. You know, started off the pole, down 10 spots. Like you say, he's got mega wing damage. He's got the chicane there. Oh my goodness, it's so unfortunate. I mean, he can definitely take a pit stop and try his best to make it as far as he can, but man, it's just really unfortunate to see for him tonight.
Yeah, that's not going to do him any favors. The car is probably just understeering like a boat without either one of the ends of the wing on it. Lost both end plates, lost the right-hand cascade elements from that wing, so he's got to be careful coming in the pits. He doesn't add insult to injury here as well. Does not get a speeding penalty, so unfortunate for him. Probably going to go onto the hard tire here, try to go to the end of the race.
And as you were talking there, Facetas actually got a bad exit to the wall of champions, and Whiffy is able to take him back on the inside in the turn 1. But Whiffy and Zampa first, and as DaCosta as well, all already with a single penalty. And there goes Groggy as well. We're only 5 laps into this. This might be a scary one tonight.
Always is. Had a tier 1 driver end up with 27 seconds worth of penalties. So if that shows you how difficult this place is, that a tier 1 driver in VRL is ending up with that many penalties as Face Taste gets that.
Ooh, Silkweaver around. I caught the tail end of it. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Does he have damage? Yes, he does. Left front end plate is gone. Meanwhile, Rawlings is around Face Taste. That's going to put him up to P6. Whiffy's in P5. So these guys on that medium tire are starting to come towards the front. This is playing right into their hands. They're just minding their own business. This could play out for them very well. As Whiffy defending very hard there against Rawlings. That was a little bit, a little sus right there. Keeping an eye on this little battle between these two. This is what I believe is going to end up being for the race win between these two cars on the medium tire. I think Rawlings is quicker, but currently Whiffy has the track position. And that can mean so much around here, not having to follow a guy as Face Taste gets a 3-second time penalty just behind these guys.
I'm loving this nice little battle we have here for PA. We got Heatwave, Dark Eyes, DaCosta, and Redeemer just all bunched up right here for that P8 spot.
And we have a virtual safety car on the track. Sorry to interrupt you there, not sure what's going on, but Andrew into the pit lane gets a 5-second penalty for speeding. Not good for him. Looks like, I think that's Groggy possibly. Who is that in the pit lane?
Quite a few people now.
Looks like Fluky and DaCosta had it coming together in the pit lane entry there. Loki up to P8 right now on his mediums. Mex Andrew comes out just in front of him on a set of fresh mediums. going back to green here, so Max Andrew making a very well-timed pit stop there to get onto his first set of mediums. That could play right into his hand and put him right back in this fight, because he's only about probably 7 or so seconds behind Whiffy and Rawlings, and he is going very quickly, but he needs to get by Redeemer first, and Redeemer's actually red X'd ahead and all over the place. So well, there he goes. Redeemer gets off track, gets in the wall, and position made. So
and
yeah, he's only about 5 seconds behind these guys, which is crucial for him. He needs to make hay while the sun's shining, while he's got fresher tires, because they're going to be on those tires for a minute. He needs to close that gap as much as possible.
And one thing I definitely want to point out here is that every driver that does go for the pit stop there all goes to the mediums, and they were on the stop, so they're all definitely going for the 2-stop. We got Joe and Zampa and Face Taste. It looks like they're all going to go for the 1-stop from softs to hards, but definitely with that virtual safety car, all of those that just pit in a great spot for that 2-stop to definitely work in their favor.
Costa picking up another time penalty right there to add to his woes with Fluky in the pits. Not sure what happened between those two, but I definitely saw bits of wing flying. So Rawlings up to P2, about 3 seconds behind his teammate, who still has to stop. He's going to be closing down that gap on Joe rather quickly, I think, at this stage. Especially in braking zones like this. See right there, the gap comes down to pretty much about 1/10. Gets a little more on the exit. And I think Face Taste is just going to really try to ride the DRS of the cars in front and try to make it just lose as little time as he can in relation to everybody else on the soft tire. And oh wow, Whiffy getting real slidey out of that final corner and getting very close to the wall. And I think did Andrew just catch a piece of the wall? No damage, so he got very close, and if he did touch the wall, he got very lucky there. Sets fast lap of the race at a 1:11.6. So he is definitely on the move, trying to close down that gap. Already pulled 2 seconds off of the cars in front, which is exactly what he needs to be doing right now on those fresh mediums.
Not sure if Whiffy has a little damage or not, but he is all of a sudden starting to really struggle early on in these mediums.
I think he
closing
does.
the gap a lot. And as Facetas gets around, wow!
And that's wing damage for Facetas. Big hit to the wall. Left front end plate gone. So his teammate goes through. Now Andrew's got clear track up ahead to the 2 cars on the medium that started on the medium, which is what he wants. Yellow flag sector 3. Looks like we have somebody in the pits there. Not sure who that is. Or actually slow down the front straightaway. I think that's Guido. Actually, yep, Guido's come to grief with the wall, and he has got no front wing, so he is going to be slower than Christmas. And we have another virtual safety car due to the debris on the track, so looks like Face Taste is going to get off of those soft tires a little bit early, change the wing out, hopefully, and not lose too much time due to that. So that may all work out for him well enough. He's going to drop down the order just a little bit. This guy right here, though, Guido, just went from great to bad to worse now. He's almost a lap down. Car will not turn for anything. And Charles Leclerc has joined. Okay. Well, Charles, how are you doing? I'm
glad to have you.
That's interesting because we know that as he leaves, we know that Charles Leclerc big into esports gaming, especially during the shutdown. Not sure if that's actually him, but interesting to say the least. Very interesting to say the least. Moving right along then. So we're going to look right here at Dark Ice and Loki. Loki about 4/10 in front of the Alfa Romeo behind him. Both on the medium tire, but Dark Ice is on much fresher mediums. He's going to get the DRS into the final chicane. Loki's going to have to let him have it there and just kind of fall in behind. That final chicane is really easy to make a pass because if he can get to the inside of the guy, he really does not have an option. but to let you through, or just go over the chicane, and then he has to let you through if he gains the position back. Meanwhile, looking back up here, Rawlings is caught up to the back of Joe. You got to imagine this will be a pretty easy move down that back straight. Or, okay, Rawlings looking like or Joe looking like he's weaving a little bit there in front of his teammate. Rawlings going to get to the inside up to turn 10, and that should be job done between the Haas's. Interesting exchange there up to the turn 8 chicane. Not sure what that was all about, but Zampa's out to about a 4-second lead now over Joe. Not really what Joe wants to be seeing, and certainly not what Rawlings wants to be seeing. He wants to see his teammate really keep that Mercedes close as now he dives into the pits. Joe staying out another lap as Whiffy Winner now picks up a 3-second time penalty behind these guys. So that is going to open up gap between Joe and between Zampa a little bit more than it already was.
I'm very intrigued to see that Zampa's gone to the mediums. He took the softs that far and still go for the 2-stop. I'm not sure if that was really a good idea or not.
Yeah, no, I think you're, unless he's, he might try to stretch it a 1-stop on that, but that's a big stretch. That's a big ask. The hard tire is definitely going to be the way to go right now, so I wouldn't be shocked to see Joe jump on that tire. Although I could be completely wrong, and he could absolutely just take off like a rocket right now, but he's already lost so much time to do that, it's going to be hard to make it back up.
I definitely think he could still fight his way back up to a top 5, maybe even a P3 if he gets lucky with a couple things, but very, very surprised to see him not jump onto the hard tire and give him a
Indeed. And
great
we
shot
got,
here.
Looks like Mech's face takes around at the hairpin there. Not sure what happened. Not sure if he got contact from somebody, but he's dropped down several positions there. As looks like Joe now jumps into the pits, and we got Dark Ice on the back of Zampa here, who just came out of the pits. Guido sets fast lap of the race in and amongst these two, but he's ghosted out because he's a lap down. Wiser Square having a very quiet race right now in P4, so the Williams driver having just kind of minding his own business is kind of what he does, and it works out for him quite well. He's gotten quite a fine championship as we see Whiffy Winner and Andrew. Oh, Andrew's in the wall. Andrew got in the wall hard there. That's going to be wing damage for him, so that is going to very much hamper his efforts tonight. Not sure what went on there. They was going down the straightaway, and it looks like the Ferrari just got very sideways. Not sure if there was contact with the Alpha Tauri ahead. These two have really not let Rawlings get away from them too much, even with all that, which is important for Whiffy. Whiffy really needs to try and stick with Rawlings as much as possible. Let him drag him along, and then maybe attack him a little bit later in the race. As, Andrew is now going into the pits. He's gonna go ahead and go to that hard tire a couple laps earlier than these guys and just try to make it work. He's on that 2-stop strategy. Gonna get, and he's serving a penalty, it looks like, actually, so that's gonna not be good. So that elevates Wiser Square to P3. Hang on, I'm responding to something really quick in the commentator chat that just popped up. Keeping our eyes peeled for this. As Guido picks up a 3-second time penalty there, not really mattering too much for him. He's down there in 19th and last, over a lap down. Costa also picking up a 3-second time penalty. So that now puts Wiser Square in the best position at the moment to do something about these two cars out in front of him. And it looks like SSR Zampa not too far behind him, about 5 seconds. Going to be a little bit closer to those guys when they come out of the pits, as we now have a full-on safety car. Guido. And Whiffy's diving in the pits. Whiffy has pulled a fast one on Rawlings. He is going to be able to get in the pits, get off those mediums, and Wiser Square is also diving into the pits. I think everybody who's not on the hard is going to come in and go to the hard.
Yep, there goes Zampa. And Dark Ice.
I think Whiffy
Whistler following in.
I think Whiffy might have got held a little bit right there by the Williams of Wiser Square coming in just behind him, so that's unfortunate. If that is the case, that may actually hamper him just a little bit, but Rawlings is going to catch the safety car. Rawlings is going to catch the safety car, so Whiffy is going to have the net lead of the race here.
And I'm
That is
very
exactly
surprised.
Rawlings.
Joe hit it onto the mediums. He actually had wing damage when he pit, but not going to pit here. I'm not sure if that's a good call for Joe.
It's possible. Maybe he's wanting to kind of see who does what here. Maybe see who goes onto that hard tire and who doesn't, because a lot of guys are actually still out there on the mediums.
Yeah, a lot of people still here to pit. Whiffy definitely in the best spot right here. Zampa back in P7, probably in your next best spot. Rawlings, as you
Weiser
said,
goes
got
on to a
really
second
caught
set.
out.
He goes on to another. He goes on to a second set of the mediums here. So that's an interesting strategy. Maybe he's thinking run the mediums and then towards the end, if he can pull out enough of a gap, because he'll definitely be going quicker than Whiffy on those fresh mediums versus those fresh hards. Maybe if he can pull out about a 5 to 6 second, maybe 8 second gap, and then dive off into the pit lane with about 10 to go, maybe or 9 to go or something of that nature. Maybe he can pull something up and use those soft tires to really fall back some time.
Absolutely. You see Rawlings dive into the pits. He's going to lose a lot of positions. Like, unfortunately, caught out the timing on the safety car, or for him.
Yeah.
He's going to get on the hards, and he will be going to the end of the race on those. So still not in a bad
Brown's
spot,
left
but
the session.
definitely not where he wants to be.
So let's try to get Costa back in here before the end of the safety car period, because we don't want him. And we're just seeing people taking advantage of the fact that he's ghosted out to pick up positions right here. So Mex Andrew and Dark Eyes Racer, as well as looks like Rawlings is staying behind him, so good on him. But yeah.
Okay.
So this is what happens, guys, when you start jacking with it. You start getting everybody bottled up, and everybody gets penalties, and now you're just being stupid. So Andrew and Dark Eyes for passing that car of DaCosta Brown's under safety car, even though he's ghosted out. Shame on you. Shame on you. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. As Loki retires from the session, looks like we got something going on back here. Somebody's had an issue somewhere. A lot of penalties here, just for dumb things.
Yeah,
what is
most likely
here?
A lot of these going to be removed, but
that's going to make a mess for the. This is going to make a mess for everybody here. What are we trying to do here, fellas? At the back, what are we trying to do here?
Yeah.
I'm just confused right now as to what these guys are doing. But yeah, all that stemmed from guys, from a lot of these guys just trying to pass DaCosta's ghosted out car. There's going to be a lot of stuff on stream here. So stream footage going to be very useful for the stewards at the end of this race, I believe, sorting all of that out. That's just... apparently somebody slammed the brakes on in front of Loki, and that's why he retired. Just pretty much got brake checked. So a lot of guys getting caught up in things under safety car. Just, I find it hilarious. These guys can run around inches from each other and really not have an issue, but you get them going a third of the speed that they're normally going, and they can't avoid running into each other.
I have no idea what's going on here in the back of the grid.
Nope.
But back up to the front, as we got one more lap, or safety car is in. So here we go, back to racing.
And looks like actually Yep, never mind. I thought that was fluky there up in, it was a lap down, but it's actually Weiser Squares. Too many blue and white cars out there. Anyway, back under green here, so we're going to see how quickly these guys can possibly dispose of that hard-shod Alpha Tauri who can run to the end. All Whippy has to do is just mind his P's and Q's. That's all he's got to do, and he'll get a good finish out of this.
If he wants to hold his ground, he sure can.
Looks like he might not have to. Joe's taking a look at Weiser here. That's just going to slow them down. He's already almost out of DRS range, and he's only halfway around the lap. These two keep fighting like that as Weiser locks up, and Joe's going to get right to the back of him. Fight for second is definitely on, but it's pretty much a fight to see who's going to be able to get up there and try to take the fight to the Alpha Tower to lead in the race. This is where they're going to gain a little bit on him, is on the exit of this corner, but maybe not. Looks like Weiser doesn't get as good an exit as Whiffy does, and Whiffy's going to take off down the road. Whiffy Winner might have this in the bag right now if he just keeps everything together. Commentator's curse, touch wood. Definitely on the button down that straightaway, though, to close down about 2/10 of a second as they come up to the final chicane. These guys are just not leaving it alone.
Still definitely a driver to look out for is Rawlings back there in P9 as Redeemer gets in the wall. The Sector 2 split, not sure exactly what happened, but he will definitely have a lot of wing damage and lost quite a few spots there.
Indeed. Car looking like it's very, very unpleasant to drive right now. We're going to get a good look at the front wing. Missing the whole right-hand half of it, so yeah, not too fun to drive right now for the Red Bull driver. Looking back up here, we do see Rawlings. He's picked up to P8. He is currently... He's got to catch back up to Whippy. I think he's got the speed to do it. He's got to get around all these guys in front of him on the hard tire as well, including Dark Ice, Andrew, and Zampa. Possible penalties coming for Dark Ice and Andrew for overtaking DaCosta under the safety car while he was ghosted out. That's just not, you just can't do it. You can't do that. Under green, it's not a big deal. Under safety car, you absolutely have to maintain position. And even if that AI car is going slowly, they'll catch back up before the end of it. So not sure what their reasoning or excuse is going to be there. As we got a yellow flag in sector 2, not sure what that's all about. It's clear now.
Rawlings does catch his first penalty, I believe, so him and Whiffy both on 3 seconds, and I know there's a couple other racers here that are definitely in prime position, but as they were the two to watch at the beginning, I definitely think Rawlings can get through these three, but it's not going to be an easy task. All three of them very fast in themselves.
No, it's not going to be. Joe picks up a 3-second time penalty there. It looks like he is actually looking at a move on Weiser Square. He's on the inside up towards turn 1. Going to run it deep, but Weiser's going to hang it around the outside, but he has to see the position as Joe just gets that run off the inside of the corner, and that's going to be Joe up to P2. They're right on the tail of Whiffy Winner right now, but Joe's on 2-lap older mediums than even Weiser Square behind him and Whiffy in front of him's hards. So those tires are not going to be good for very much longer, so he's got to go now, and he has got to try and find a gap to fall back into. Which actually right now, pretty big gap as a lot of guys diving into the pits with some issues or just getting spread out due to the issues under the safety car. So there's a pretty good gap behind this fight for about pretty much 9th place is where that gap starts to form. And then you got about 5 seconds back to Trace Me in the McLaren and about another 12 seconds back to Groggy in the Renault, sole remaining Renault, with Loki out of the race. As I say that, Loki leaves the session. Looks like Joe taking a look there on Whiffy DRS. Everything turned up, not quite close enough. Gets a little sideways off the chicane. Zampa
He
Big
actually
moment.
got together with Facetus there. Facetus may have damage. I'm not too sure. He definitely got hit a little wide there at the Wall of Champions.
Facetus looks to be okay. No damage to the front wing of the car, so I think he's all right. Just his pride in a few positions. Now might not be a bad idea to dive into the pits for Facetus because he has got 12 laps on those tires, those medium tires, and he's got about 13 laps to go at the end of this one. So maybe not a bad idea. Andrew dives into the pits.
Joe made a mistake there. Weiser easily passes back by him. Not sure exactly what happened. Maybe got a little oversteer on the exit of, I believe, turn 6, I want to say. Maybe 7.
7's going to be the one coming onto that straightaway, so yeah, that would be it. It's kind of weird. The odd numbers are the ones that lead onto the straightaways. It's a little bit weird for an F1 track, to be honest. But yeah, Weiser gets back in front, so he is currently the chasing car. Our leader. These three have separated themselves a little bit. Rawlings is up to P4 now, so he's definitely moved his way through up with all that chaos between Facetas and Zampa that last lap. Took full advantage of that as Weiser does pick up a 3-second time penalty, so now he and Joe are even. They will both likely have to pit again before the race is out. Rawlings definitely going to try to claw his way back up towards the front and get closer to Whiffy, who is just doing an incredible job to hold these guys behind on a much slower tire.
Zampa definitely using the DRS and definitely used a lot of his overtake as well, but he's staying right there with Rawlings, definitely trying to claw his way and see if he can fight for this win as well.
It is indeed. This is a very tactical race, and it's always very interesting to see. Remember, this is the race where Jenson Button took, I think, 6 trips through the pit lane and still won the race. 1 year. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like Redeemer, I believe. Yeah, he went around the exit of Turn 4, broke some of the wing off, so not very good for him as DaCosta, his teammate, comes up behind him. I can't stop hiccuping. And, oh, somebody's lost some wing there. I think that might be Joe. It is. Joe's missing the right front end plate off of that Haas, so that's going to hurt his chances a lot. His teammate's going to come screaming up on the back of him now. Without the downforce that front end plate is providing.
I believe Dark Ice made a mistake. He was about within a second, I want to say, of Zampa. All of a sudden, within 8 seconds. I don't know if he just had a bad lap or what happened, but definitely still in a prime position for him. Just, I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Not sure at all. Rawlings now only about a second off of his teammate. That should go under a second after this corner because this is a foul, and Joe blows the chicane. Joe blows the chicane. He's going to lose 2 spots for his troubles there as he rejoins the track using the baller. Good job on him, but that's going to give P3 to Rawlings, who is now about 2.5 seconds off the race lead. Currently held by Whiffy Winner, and looks like Weiserscore is going to make a move down this straightaway. He's very close. He is. He's going to go to the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Yes, cuts back in front. I really, really, really hate when people do that. That is just a recipe for getting run in the back of it, to be honest, is cutting back and crossing in front of somebody at a braking zone like that. But he makes it work. Now pulls out about a half second on Whiffy on that front straightaway alone as Whiffy has to hold up and regain his composure. Now the question is, can Weisersquare use those softer tires to his advantage? They both got 10 laps on the tires, so they're both still pretty good. He's pulling away a little bit through Sector 1, but he needs to do more. It's a little bit more as Whiffy runs very deep, runs over the curb there. That might be a warning on his part there. Get a little bit of a better run onto the straightaway as we're going to just hop off of him because he's got that sound glitch. And Whiffy is going to, Whiffy's going to have DRS here. And be very careful not to start running deep. Looks like Whiffy is going to stay within DRS range of the car ahead. That's very important. That does not allow Weisersquare to start eking away and build that gap. This is the challenge of Canada, is you have to be so much faster than somebody else just to even break the DRS because there's so many DRS zones and the place is just so quick. Whiffy getting a very good slipstream and good toe down that straightaway, pulls in a few tenths. That's going to keep him ever closer to the car in front. DRS again down the front straightaway. This is going to be the fight for it right here. Is Weiser going to try and go to the end on these tires? I think that's going to be a tough ask to stay in front of Whiffy Winner. And especially Rawlings and Zampa behind on those hard tires. He may still have a good shot at a top 4. Whiffy picks up a 3-second time penalty, so now everybody's got a 3-second time penalty, I think, up front out of the top 3, maybe 4. Andrew gets another 5-second time penalty, and he's going to retire from the session. Just not the race he wanted there in the Ferrari.
I believe Whiffy is the only one with 2 penalties up at the top.
Okay, Whiffy's made a mistake there, so he's now out of DRS range. That's going to be crucial for Weiser Square out front. In the Tier 3 chat, popping off just a little bit as people discussing the safety car antics that led to a lot of that buffoonery that we saw.
Okay, Zampa and Rawlings both have 2 penalties, and Whiffy actually has 3. Weiser is the only one with 1.
Okay, so Weiser Square looking pretty good right now. He just needs to kind of sit tight and just not let anybody get really in front of him, which except Whiffy. Whiffy can get in front of him, I think, and he'll be all right. Not going to really have enough time to claw back that time. Just needs to keep it out of the wall, make sure everything stays nice and tidy, and I think he'll be fine. Mind you, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what these guys have, because I doubt they're going to be telling him. God, the back of Whiffy's car just sliding so much. You can see right there the gap jumped up again, almost a 1.5 seconds from, he was almost down to a second out of that previous corner. And it looks like Zampa's actually staying very close to the back of Rawlings. He has not dropped him at all. So the Mercedes driver doing a really, really good job to stay up there. You said he and Rawlings both have 2 penalties?
Yes, but I believe Rawlings also has 2 warnings, so he has 1 warning shot of that 3rd one. Definitely probably not going to be pushing as Zampa gets his 3rd. So, game set, 8 laps to go. Weiser just puts Weiser in an even better position. As I said, he is the only one with 1, so if he can keep it clean, even if he gets that 2nd one, still in a great position.
Indeed he is. Currently sitting 1.7 seconds out in front as Whiffy gets very sideways through the 6-7 chicane. That's going to allow Rawlings to get almost within DRS range of him. So I think Whiffy just really needs to kind of sit tight, try to hang on to that P3, and that's going to be, I think, about the best he can get as Dark Ice Racer picks up a 3-second time penalty in P5. Doing pretty well, but again, get that questionable overtake on DaCosta under the safety car when he was ghosted out. So we'll see what comes of that. Not very often we catch questionable antics on stream, but when we do, it's usually not very good for the drivers involved. We're going to look down here at Silkweaver, who's actually got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That is going to be ARS Boostler, who has spun around. Neither one of the Racing Points having a very good time here tonight. And let's give a quick shout out to Groggy Oregano, running out there just kind of quietly in P10 right now, just having a good race. Not really bumping heads with anybody tonight, just looking to pick up a solid point right now. Not something he's had a whole lot of this season, so that's good for him. Trace Me up to P7, just behind his teammate by about 8 seconds. Got Mex Face Ace on a fresh set of softs closing down on him, looking to take that spot away, but still a good race for Trace Me currently. Speaking of closing down, Silkweaver on the back of Dark Ice Racer in the McLaren. And speaking of which, picks up a 3-second time penalty there, Trace Me does. So that's not going to be helping him out, but he is going to go to the end. Silkweaver on 19 lap old mediums. So he is on the oldest tires out there. This will kind of give us an indicator of where the drop-off is on these tires and where the danger zone is going to be, because I think those tires of his are going to be looking pretty secondhand by the end of this thing.
I even think right here in these last few laps, Weiser's tire is going to start falling off as well, and definitely going to make things very interesting these last couple laps.
Rawlings gets his third. Rawlings just got his third time penalty. Saw it right there on the screen. He's closed up on the back of Whiffy Winner. So this is for position right now, folks. He does not have to sit behind him to get the position. He has to pass it. So that's going to put Weiser in literally Weiser literally just needs to keep it on the road, and he will win this race easily. He does not have to worry about anything. These guys can get by him and pull out a 6-second gap right now.
Yeah, he is one warning shy of that second penalty, so I know he's definitely going to be trying to keep it clean. If he does get that second one, only a 3-second gap to work with, but definitely still sitting in the best seat in the house.
Yeah, still sitting in the best seat in the house. Not to mention, catching him was one thing, passing him was another.
Absolutely.
And as we've seen, even on older, more worn tires, it's actually very difficult to pull a gap around here just because of the way the DRS zones are situated. As we see Rawlings taking a look on Whiffy out the exit of turn 2, not going to have anything doing there. And then they fly up in through this 3-4 chicane into turn 5 and then into turn 6 to end the first sector. Not taking a look here. This is going to be pretty much the closest fight on the track between these two. This is for position on the track. Yeah, that's really what I want to see is the back of Rawlings' car. I want to see what's out the front because Whiffy does not have DRS. Rawlings does. This is a fight for position, and they're going to fight tooth and nail for this.
Oh, does Weiser make a mistake there? Definitely just dropped a lot of time. He was about 2.1 seconds up. He's down to 1.6, 1.5.
It's possible, but either way, he's far enough out that it really doesn't matter right now, especially with these two fighting behind him. That's going to slow them down, and that's going to give him even more space to work with.
Yeah, Rawlings really wants to get around Whiffy if he can. If he's going to go down the inside. Oh, they got a catch.
Yeah, this is a little bit of argy-bargy right here. Whiffy not wanting to give up that spot at all. Ran him almost into the dirt. That was a bit cheeky. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that type of defending. I think if you're going to defend, you need to make the move before they do, and block off that path instead of trying to squeeze them. I really keep seeing people squeeze people like that, personally. But that's just allowed Weiser to pull out about a 2-second gap on these guys behind him, which is just going to help him even more.
And on top of that, he even had the AI of Lukey right there that he got DRS on. So, you know, just everything really working with Weiser tonight. And I think he's definitely going to come out with the win here.
Hey, man, when you're hot, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And definitely seems to have luck on his side right now, especially with these two fighting behind him. Looks like Rawlings is going to possibly take another look up here towards the chicane. Whiffy's going to give him the inside, but is he going to defend? They touch. And, oh, Whiffy has to go across the chicane right there. Again, I think if you've got to defend before you get to the corner. You cannot wait until the guy is alongside of you to start defending. That's not how that works, guys. Preemptive defense is how you're supposed to do it. Whiffy picks up another 3-second time penalty. Did Rawlings just get in the wall there?
I don't believe so.
Damage to the car. So, got a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. Who is that around? That is going to be, Boostler, I think, Boostler again. Just set fast lap of the race. I mean, it's all well and good if you're going as Zampa picks up another 3-second time penalty. So now he and Whiffy are going to be fighting for that final podium spot, it looks like. And they got to be careful because Dark Ice Racer is only about 3.3 seconds behind them, behind Zampa. So quick question, how many penalties does Dark Ice Racer have? Because he's now in this conversation.
He does have 2.
So he's got 2. The guys in front of him have 4 apiece. So he is currently within range of getting that podium. If he can just maintain what he's got, if these guys start fighting over position, Rawlings is closing down on Weisersburg. He is reeling him in right now. Not to be surprised too much by that, given how old those mediums are on the Williams out front. But I don't think he's not going to have enough time to pull the gap he needs. He's only got 2 laps left, more likely just 1 once he finally does get to him. But if I were Rawlings and we come up to that final chicane on this lap, or if I were Weiser and Rawlings tries to make a move, I would just honestly back out, let him have the line, take my normal racing line and follow him, and just try to hang with him on the last lap, because that's all he's got to do.
Yeah, it's got a 6-second difference in those penalties. I mean, it's not even worth fighting.
Heat wave and Trace Me both having an issue there in the final chicane. Not sure what that's all about. Not going to be able to see what is going on there as they both retire from the session, unfortunately. So we're going to watch this fight for the lead here. Rawlings has got DRS on the car in front. Weiser's too far in front to make a move, though. So it's going to come down to the last lap. What can Rawlings do? He's got to make a 3-second gap. Actually, he's got to make he's got to make a 6-second gap on Weiser, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's definitely in the cards, in my opinion, with how Weiser's been driving tonight. But if he does pick up that penalty, I mean, 3 seconds is definitely an easier task if Weiser does make a mistake.
Indeed, that had to be some mistake, though, and you definitely don't want to bump the guy out of the way, because Whiffy's only about a second back, and any time penalty, if something happens between these two, will hand that win straight to Whiffy.
But Rawlings definitely going to make it interesting here on track.
He is certainly going to do that. Whiffy's got more penalties than both of them do, but again, this is it. Final straightaway here. Going to come up to this final chicane, and Rawlings does not get a good exit there. So I think that's done and dusted for him.
Ooh, Zampa makes a big mistake in the hairpin. Dark Ice easily passes him, and he's only 5 seconds back from Whiffy. This could be a podium here for Dark Ice.
I think it is going to be, as Weiser Square brings home the bacon in Canada, gets the win, and Dark Ice Racer is going to jump Whiffy for P3. It's a good job for him there. A lot of these guys putting just a lot of laps on these medium tires. I mean, Silkweaver in P7, 26 laps on a set of medium tires. Unbelievable job to keep those tires alive.
Yeah. I gotta say, I mean, just a great drive overall from Rawlings and Weiser Square. Dark Ice even there with a 21 lap hold. Hards and a couple of them behind him. Just overall great drives. Whiffy jumps up 8 spots from P12. Great race from him. Dark Ice from P8 gets his podium here tonight, and Rawlings, great race from him from P10 as well.
Indeed. Driver of the day, ARS Boostler. Not really sure how that... I gotta disagree with the game on that one, to be honest. Drive of the day has got to go to the man who won today, Weiser Square. Played the strategy, got out in front, held on to it, kept it clean, did everything he needed to do, so he's my pick for driver of the day. I don't know about the game's logic there, just picking the most positions. That usually doesn't work out too well. So there you have it, your podium. You've got Weiser Square, SSR Rawlings, and Dark Ice Racer, although Dark Ice did pass the Red Bull of DaCosta under the safety car when he was ghosted out, so we'll see what happens there. We may see Whiffy reinstated to P3 later on, depending what happens in the stewarding room, but we'll see what happens there. But congratulations to Weiser Square for throwing together just a great race. All right, so there you have it. Let's see who gets the award for the most penalties tonight.
Couple 4s. I didn't really see any. We got 1 5 and
Faces got 5.
I think that is going to be your
Redeemer
winner.
with 7.
Ooh. Yep, I noticed that it's right before you said it. Yeah, it's gotta be our winner.
Yep, winner, chicken dinner, and pole man, ARS Guido's P19 the finishing order, so not the night he was hoping for. Let's get these guys in here and do some podium interviews. Huh, do I not have Wiser Square on my friends list? Huh, where's he at? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Does Wiser have a microphone or not?
No.
All. Hmm. Yeah, make sure you guys include your audio if you can. Yeah, go ahead. We're actually going to start with you while we're waiting, trying to get Toxin in here, or Wiser Square. Um, so, Dark Ice
Yep.
got P3 there at the end on penalties. Not a bad race for you. Didn't really see too much of you. Nice, quiet race from the looks of things for most of it, and then just kind of made your way through and kept out of trouble.
Yeah, that's it. At the start was pretty. Didn't I lost a lot of place at the start of the race, so I kept it like safely and didn't want to break my wing, so I kept it safe. Didn't have to change a wing. Did start to avoid maximum penalties as much as possible. So I got only like 6 second, which is pretty good, and didn't have any other warnings. So it was a pretty good race. Like from the 10th lap to the end was pretty much just putting laps without any action after the safety car. And during the safety car, there was a big issue with one of the guys in front of me who disconnected. I had quite a apparently I got a problem with that. I recorded everything, of course, but yeah, that was a big of a mess. But um, part of that was a pretty good race. Yeah, first podium on BRL.
Yeah, that kind of leads into my next question. Is we saw you and I think it was Face
Uh,
Taste, possibly. It was one of the
Andrew, I
Ferraris.
think.
It might have been Andrew. I think it was Andrew actually.
the-
One of the Ferraris, and you both overtaking DeCosta Browns while he was ghosted out under the
Yeah.
safety car. Um, so that may come under review. What is your opinion of that?
Yeah, the thing is, when it's ghosted, you can't really stay behind because he's really slow when he's ghosted. So you have to overtake, unfortunately. So I did so, and the game said, okay, no, you have to give back this position. So, but AI don't want to get back. Like, if you get that
They
warning,
don't.
they won't give back this position. So I slammed the brake because I couldn't do anything else. I would have got
And
that 5 second
exactly,
penalty.
that's
So
why.
I
Yeah,
tried to stay on the
that's why
left.
we have the.
Yeah, that's the
That's
problem.
why you cannot overtake people under the safety car even if they're ghosted out for that exact reason, is because it just causes massive problems for everybody behind. So we will see if anything
Yeah,
comes of that.
I want to talk with Yep. I'm gonna take full
All right, so moving-
responsibility for that.
Moving along to our second place finisher, Toxin. Go ahead and talk to Mr. Rawlings there.
All right, Rollins. So I actually had you as my driver to watch. I saw you looking really good in qualifying there. Unfortunately, you didn't get that extra lap to go down, but you started P10, started on the mediums, and you had or actually a kind of unfortunate start. You dropped a couple of positions, but then you really picked up the pace and started chasing everyone down. And right there at the end, you had the pace. You were right there. Actually, had you on penalties, but just great race from you tonight. And what was just your overall feel from the race tonight?
Yeah, I mean, coming into the race, I knew I had strong pace, and I wanted to use the alternate strategy because I've seen it work before here a lot. So I wanted to use the medium soft, and I knew if I could stretch it, then I'd be at an advantage to all the guys that started in the top 10. So I got as high as I could with ninth on the mediums, and then safety car was. I mean, I had a little bit of a bad start, dropped down to P12, I think, from P9. Whiffy got ahead of me; he was on mediums as well. And then I started making my way through the field and stuff. I passed both of the Ferraris. A little bit unlucky with the safety car. I was going through the chicane, and Whiffy was a couple seconds behind me, and the safety car came out, and then yeah, he went in and I didn't, so I dropped back down to 10th, I think, under safety car and made my way through. But yeah, I mean, better than I expected, to be honest, but I'll take it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Great race from you. Yeah, you fighting through the pack at least twice tonight, and just a great overall P2 for you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, we haven't been able to get a hold of Weiser Square, so folks, that is going to do us from Canada tonight for Tier 3. This has been BRO Williams and Toxin HV again for Breakout Racing League. We will catch y'all again here in 7